To get my headset situated, let's go ahead and get some music. Today we're going with the 90s, a custom 90s playlist, as a matter of fact. Okay. Going to be continuing on with the Jerboa. So what is in store today? Basically, I need to run this texture over the top of his head. I want to get all of the little minutia sorted out. Like I want to smooth that bevel on his lips, the eyelids. We're going to be working on this hindquarters. I need to blend this in a little bit more. It's not too bad, but a little bit of clay added and blended will do some good. I think what we're going to do, I want to start forming at least the nub on the base of the tail. And before we do that, we're going to wrap this in wire so I can kind of cover that and it'll secure it in place. We'll make sure, obviously we can add clay in here, but we need to make sure this stuff is all like kind of sorted out around the ankles and elbows, just to make sure they're not like deformed out of shape or anything, and it's not going to mess us up. We can always shave stuff off through the process if it's baked already, but the less we have to do, the better. So, and then by the end of the stream, we'll give this guy a nice little smoothing with a brush and some ISO, and after stream, I'll get him in the oven and good to go for tomorrow. So the list today: texture over top of the head. We need to refine the lips and the hindquarters. Wire on the tail, and we'll do that little tail base area. I would very much like to get that ear framework at least started today, and kind of get the bevels for the ear holes in the cranium there, the skull. And we're going to be using some fine wire as placeholders for our whiskers. So we'll jab those in, and the wire will be good to bake. Because I actually got some bead. It's not really wire, it's more like a cable, I guess. But it's clear. It's like a translucent cable for beads that we'll be using for the whiskers and a little bit of eyebrow tufts, I guess. So yeah, the plan is in place. I think I've got a pretty good course of action for the day today, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. And real quick, I want to check audio levels real quick here. So let me pull this up on my phone and do a little quick test. Bear with me. All right, go to my channel. Pull up the stream. Sorry if there's any echo. All right, we're going to bring that down slightly. All right, well, we'll try it there and see how that is. Because the levels that I hear, the music is different. Let's go to minus 35. Actually, that's probably good. Okay. Let's get to work. All right, first things first, I think we're going to start on the hindquarters there. Get that out of the way. And we'll just take a little bit of clay and roll it out, put it in place, and blend it in. And this side's not terrible, so I'll just do a thin strip. Where's my spoons? There's the big one and the little one. All right. And I'm happy to report this custom 90s playlist does not have any all-star or mbop in it, so we are good to go there without worries. Might go ahead and take him out of the blocks for this bit. Just got to be careful not to bump his face. Yeah, I can't wait to get this guy in the oven so everything we've done so far is safe. You know? That's it's not very comforting right now. If I drop him, that would be bad. All right, get the basics done on this side. And we'll get him back out and blend it proper. Kind of just mashing the clay right now. I also picked up some odds and ends over the weekend. Of course, I mentioned the translucent cable for the whiskers. But I also got a little bit for the base. A little cactus here. And I've already checked it size-wise. There's going to be plenty of space for it. I think it'll look nice. Add a little bit of color and life to the base, you know? That way it's not just brown and yellow and beige, I guess. This is a pretty eclectic 90s mix I put together. I'm pretty happy with it. A little bit of something for everybody. And it works for me because I have a pretty eclectic taste for music anyways, so. Hey, you gotta throw a little bit of Eric Clapton in. Lurkers, thank you for hanging out with me this morning. I know it's a bit early today. Like I said, a little bit of a modified schedule today due to the holiday and, well, just the nature of the goings on with the project. I figured get things started and see how long it takes. It might be a short stream today. In fact, it probably will be, considering we're going to be working towards a point to, like I said before, get this guy in the oven. But then tomorrow, we're probably going to be going for longer than a normal Tuesday. So bear with me. This week might be a little bit strange. Particularly towards the latter half of the week. I might not be, in fact, I'll probably not be streaming on Friday because Friday's kind of going to be a bad day. Got an appointment for the older dog and kind of determines where we go from here. So a bit of an oddball week, but plenty of work to do and plenty of time to do it. It's a little bit different than what our schedule normally will be. For now, just trying not to think about it much, you know? Never something that's fun to face as a pet owner. Smooth this all out, and then we're going to wrap that wire around the tail and get that base done. And then we'll move back to the face. All right. Let's do a quick size check on this tail. Just kind of a rough. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Get us some wire here, and we'll, like I said, we'll wrap this around just to kind of when it comes time to add the clay. This will add a little bit of a grip for it. We'll build this out with foil once we start on the tail. But for now, I just want to wrap this wire so we can secure it with the clay that I'm going to add for the base. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just, let's see. Do one of these. Clamp it down. And now we'll start winding this around. And I tore my glove, of course. And we're just get a rough shape. This is not a final shape by any means, but you know, that way I have an idea at least. And then what we'll do is kind of build out just a little nub here and blend that in. A little bit more on the top portion there. Hope you guys are all having an excellent start to your week. And if you're celebrating the holiday here in the US, happy Memorial Day to you. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. Ours was pretty solid. Pretty solid weekend. Went to see Furiosa. And I'll say it's probably, I don't think it's as good as Fury Road in the sense that, you know, Fury Road was like hit the ground running and not stop till the credits roll. This was a bit more of a slower paced, definitely action, don't get me wrong. But it is more of a story focused film. But that being said, absolutely solid. I would say probably not as good as Fury Road. But still a solid movie. We've got quite the list of movies that we want to see. It kind of feels like summer blockbusters are back. That makes me happy. Yeah. Quiet Place prequel. I want to see that. Of course, Deadpool. I mean, obviously. Twisters. Definitely want to see Twisters. Matter of fact, we broke down and watched the first one last night. First time in forever that I've watched that movie. Still in this little divot here. All right. That's coming together pretty quick here. Man, this stuff works so much easier than Sculpey, I'll tell you what. Took some getting used to, because I was wanting to use too much pressure all the time from being used to Sculpey. And we'll get this as smooth as possible just because I'm OCD. It really doesn't matter because this is all going to get covered up. But a nice level surface is going to be beneficial, so. This song, man. All right, I think that's good for that for now. That'll get us to the tail portion. Let me make sure that's not too thick. I mean, we can always shave it down, but no, I think that's about right. All right. I think next, let me go through my list here. I think we'll go ahead and get that texture over the top of the head. Whiskers will be the last thing we do today. Yeah, let's get that texture and we'll do like some of the refinements. And then we'll be moving on to the ears. But before we do, Throwing some links your way while I get some nicotine. Link in the chat for the main YouTube channel. That's where you can see all of my projects. Full showcase videos. Be sure to check those out. The candle video is live as of Friday. And the Discord, best place to find all the latest updates with the stream, the schedule, when I'm going live, what the current and upcoming projects may be, all that good stuff. We'd love to see you there. All right, so basically I want to add texture up through here. That way I can layer a little bit more texture on top of it to create the little tufts that kind of come up between the eyes and the ears. And we'll probably go over right into there, like right over that little ridge. Basically, I spent the weekend after Friday's stream with this sitting beside me at my desk, and every time I was sitting at my desk, I kept looking over and turning my work lights on and Just kind of giving it a look over and seeing like and planning, and that's where I was like, yeah, I better run some fur texture up higher, and then I can throw some strips of clay over that once it's baked and create that little bit of a rise in the fur. All right, let's see. Again, this is mostly going to get covered up, but what's exposed needs to be smoothed. Because we're basically doing some finishing stages stuff right now, since it's going to be going in for a bake. Well, gotta fix a tool. Let that sit and dry for a second, then we'll continue on. It's almost like these tools get a workout or something. What the heck? Quiet day today, but I figured it would be with the holiday. But I said, screw it, I got work to do. And here we are. But who knows? Maybe it'll pick up a little bit yet. Be lurking another 30, 45 minutes. Hey, Fire Shadow. No worries, man. I saw you lurking. Yeah, between early stream and the holiday, I figured it was going to be a bit quiet, but like I said, I got stuff to do. I need a fine pointed ball stylus here. Where we got that? That is not fine. That'll do. My hands are shaky today. All right. Lips. Okay. Let's see. Moving right along. We're down to the ears. This will be an interesting portion. And now it's time to figure this out. These references came out rather dark. These are screenshots I actually took in game yesterday. So the bottom portion of the ear connects about even with the eyeball, the crease in the eyelids, and back a tad further than the top. And width of the head is about equal to the length of the longest tip of the ear. Which is where I came up with the measurement of 3 inches from prior. And the top of the ears. Man, I wish I had a facing photo here. That's not right. Like halfway to the eyeball. And at like the top of the head. And It's about an inch. About an inch there. That should do it. Seven. I'll go with 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And she's home. It's quiet today. I figured it would be. I'm early and it's a holiday, but moving right along. And the important thing is to get what I needed done and get it in the oven. So, well, that way I can get into some more interesting stuff tomorrow. But see how we. And I got the ear holes marked basically. And I'm doing, this is the wire framework for the ears that we're working on now. So, how was your walk? Good, good. Rainy? Oh, that's good. What? Oh, that's nice. That's good. What, out of the wild? Just stealing plants from the woods. You know what, chat? I'm just going to go ahead and double this up. That way we have extra if we need it. I don't want to run into a spot where I don't have enough. So I was going to fold it and wrap it, or wind it, but all right. I need to stand up for this, so all right. And just like that, we got a twisted wire. So let's go ahead and cut this in two. Okay, wire for ears. And now to shape them. All right, so basically we want to add a 1/2 inch for the anchor. I'd say that's a start. Yeah, we'll do some shaping and whatnot on those ears, but I kind of feel like we should just bake them and I can drill the holes. Honestly. That way I don't have to worry about scratching them up when I'm trying to test fit these, you know? And then this way we can kind of get into the ears tomorrow. I mean, they look huge right now. It looks like some Dumbo ears, but obviously there's some excess there that will have to be trimmed off and all of that jazz, but I don't really want to mess up our shape, our general form here. So we'll wait on the ears. It's going to be a short stream today. Ready to get this guy in the oven. We'll get him to that point today. Get that done, then we'll focus on ears tomorrow. Plus, it's quiet. But like I said, we're early and it's a holiday, so I get it. Okay, so hey Rose, how's it going? Welcome in. Bit of an early short stream today. I thought I might work on the ears before we get this guy in the oven, but like I was saying, I started early today in the holiday. It's kind of quiet, and I knew today's stream was kind of going to be dictated by the process that we need to get completed. And we've gotten a lot done in a short amount of time. What are we? Hour and a half? I'm gonna spend some time doing some cleanup. We're gonna get the whiskers in and then we'll call it a day for today. Get this guy in the oven so he's ready to go for an extended stream tomorrow, you know? Hey Rose, yeah, happy Monday to you. Welcome in. Hope you had a good weekend. We had a pretty good one. Got to see my brother this time. Oh, nice. Had it been a while? I wish I had some proper brothers. I have half brothers and we were close growing up, but not anymore. So we extended this texture back today, right? I wanted to do that because let me show you. Right and through here, I figured it'd be easier for painting for one, but extending that texture, then I can like layer on clay and then texture it to make it like kind of tuft, like little tufts on the sides between the ears. And then everything above the eyes, below the eyes, all of that, that'll be additive and will blend between the like spiky fur to the carved in fur. So yeah, I think I came up with a pretty good attack plan on this over the weekend. No training this weekend with my group? Oh, they were doing some LARP? Well, that works. And then these are big and they'll need trimmed down, but I got the ear frames in place and ready. And ear holes figured out here. You see on the overhead. So what we can do then is just drill those in after he's baked. Yeah, I know we talked on Friday, and coming into today, it was kind of like we'll see how it goes kind of plan. Whether or not I start the ears before he gets his bake or not. And I think we're going to wait till after he's baked so I don't have to worry about the wires scratching him up and the excess wire and all of that. And I can just drill into those marked spots, no problem. Somewhat torturing the LARP player due to the skill gap. Oh boy. Never done any myself. I knew a group of people briefly that they did I guess it's LARP. It's like they all have you know, gear, whether it be foam tipped arrows and bows or various medieval weapons and armor, and they have like full on battles. They go to these things for like a whole weekend, and it's all primitive style camping. You're not allowed to bring technology with you to a certain extent, and they have like full scale battles through the weekend. One's a knight, one's on the way to being a knight for the 12th century stuff. Nice. Yeah, it sounds kind of similar then. I'm going to be using some vape coil wire that I have left over. It's very fine. We're going to be sticking this in as temporary whiskers because the stuff that I got for whiskers cannot be put in the oven. So this will kind of hold its place for us. I can just take them out. And we only have to start with a few, I think. Some of it's going to go into the next layer up. But I'm just going to cut some short whiskers here. I could probably stick the threading in with a needle after the fact, but I don't want to. I don't want to risk it. And it's not like this is anything particularly extra or difficult, so why not? There's videos from Kenilworth of some of the line fights. Yeah, it sounds a lot like what the people that I knew did. I forget what it was called. It was like an organization, but yeah, we'll get these in. Then where did that go? Guess that's get these in, then I'm going to give things a once over and a nice pass on the smoothing and all of that. And that'll probably be stream for today. Go hang out with Minchie since she's got the day off. And maybe play some more of that Mad Max game that I picked up after watching Furiosa. I never played the Mad Max game, and I've heard good things. And then after we watched Furiosa, I'm like, man, I'm going to go see about that game when we get back home. And it's like $20, so I grabbed it, and it's pretty great. Storia Normanus is the one I'm a part of. Oh, cool. You guys do like full getaways and stuff like that? Like a full weekend trips and stuff? There's 4, there's 5. Yeah, I got clear monofilament bead cord for the whiskers, and I think that's going to be perfect. It's wispy, you know what I mean? It's not like I've used wire for whiskers on things in the past, and it works. A little bit chunky in appearance once you add a layer of paint, you know? But I think this will work great. Shows all over England and Wales. Nice. And I also picked up a little extra to spruce up the base. I showed it at the beginning of the stream, but I'll show you guys again. Plenty of room on the base. It'll kind of sit, well, I'm going to have to do some dissection on this thing, but it'll sit kind of like off to this side on the base. Plenty of room just to add some color and life to it, you know? I think that'll work. That's reminded me, I have some of that string somewhere. Yeah, I was looking for opal metal so I could throw it in the oven, but whatever. Oh yes, new emotes are live, by the way. There they are. Our dancing one, our red moon one, which is a follower emote, and the animated wave emote, which will replace the subscriber wave, and followers will get the static wave. Couple new channel point options also. Okay, whiskers. Whiskers, whiskers, whiskers. How are we gonna do this? Basically like 2 layers. About halfway up and a little bit below that. How far back? And underneath those now, need to cut another piece of wire. Yeah, using this kind of wire for armature sucks so much, man. I'm so happy with this aluminum armature wire. Had a peanut butter smoothie. Burgers with mint sauce. I'm intrigued. Never heard of that. Okay, I'm doing something risky. I'm using my left hand. I don't like using my left hand. Ah! No! Found it. I dropped my wire. Hmm. Somehow I've lost another piece of wire, or I didn't cut quite enough. Got a raid coming in. Artwork by Andy. Welcome in, Artwork by Andy and the Raiders. Let me get this little guy stuck in here quick. We're doing some placeholder whiskers for the oven. All right. Let's hop over here a minute. Artwork by Andy. Thank you so much for the follow. And Badman, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. And welcome Raiders. Thank you guys so much for coming along with Artwork by Andy. And Artwork by Andy, thank you so much for the raid. We've been working on this Jerboa for about the last week or so. And folks, there's a shout out. Artwork by Andy is another streamer here, a creative streamer here on Twitch. I've frequented the stream and hang out there when I can, so be sure to show some love, drop a follow, and check out his stream. Doing some airbrushing today, I take it. Probably, right? What were we painting today? How was the stream? I hope it was good. That's a nice Jerboa. Thank you, Badman. Thank you very much. We're doing some placeholder whiskers because the whiskers that I have that will be the permanent whiskers cannot go into the oven. So I figured we'll just use some thin gauge wire, pop it in there, throw it in the oven. And tomorrow we're going to be doing ears, and we'll be starting on more of the fur texture if we have time. So yeah, today is like a kind of an oddball day. You know, we started earlier than I planned, or than I normally would stream on Mondays. We're going to be ending way earlier than I normally would, but it was just kind of one of those days where we have a lot of stuff to do on the project to get it ready for the oven, and it needs to go in the oven before we can move on. So today's that day. Today is that day. I'm doing good, Andy. How are you? An airbrush artist in the UK. Yep. What were we painting today, Andy? Currently playing Scorched Earth. Love the things, but with how much they moan about the weather, I want to shoot them all. Yeah, they do. Especially if you have a base full of them, right? They make quite the ruckus. Matter of fact, we have a Scorched Earth server, a modded Scorched Earth server on Survival Evolved that's currently live, and some of my reference photos. Let's see, can you see it? Maybe. Those are screenshots I took yesterday. 7-hour stream working on a couple motorcycle side panels. Okay, the Iron Maiden theme bike. Right. Okay, so I've seen some of your work on that, and it was already looking fantastic. I imagine it's looking even better with the progress, right? But yeah, I'm sure most of you guys understand today's just one of those super oddball streams. We've been putting off a bake on this guy through the last couple days last week because I just was not at a spot where I felt 100% comfortable with it. And we're now at that point where it's like, all right, we need to get this guy baked before I continue. So it was great fun. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. And again, guys, there was a link. I don't think it'll let me shout him out again because Twitch likes to control how much we can do shout outs for no reason whatsoever. Link in the chat. Go show some love to Artwork by Andy. Also, I see another one out there. Stevie, how we doing today? Everybody should be sure to show some love to Stevie Seal. Drop a follow. hanging out whilst tidying up the yard. Very nice. I spent some time doing that yesterday, Stevie, and thankfully got it done before the rain got us. Doing good? Good, good, good. Yeah, I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend, and I hope your week is off to a good start. Also, the Ravens it's not a jump scare sound now. So I think Jenny will be happy about that. They used to be louder, and I found a way to make them quieter, so. So yeah, that's on the docket for today. We've already gotten quite a bit done. When I started today, I wanted to, I had texture up to about the top of his eyes here. And I was like, well, I'm going to extend that because and let me fix my browser here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Sorry to raid and run. Need to get my fiance from work. Hey, artwork by any. No worries. Do what you got to do. I totally understand how it goes. Thank you so much for the raid. I very much appreciate it. And again, raiders, welcome in. I hope you guys enjoy. And stay safe out there, Andy. Hope you have a good rest of your day, man. All right. I got that browser window out of the way so I can actually see what I'm doing in OBS. So, yeah, so I added that texture up higher because after he's baked, I'll throw some strips on there. Once we got the ears on, some small little strips, and I'll repeat that texture. That way we have like a little bit of a little tuft, you see. It'll also make it easier to paint that way. With the multiple shades, it'll give me a defining line almost, you know. And we may do some of that down in through here after the bake. All of the eyes, that's going to be bulked up underneath and above with additive fur texture after the first bake. So that is why I need to get this guy in the oven. So let's go ahead and get our temporary whiskers in. You know, let's switch cameras. And we may add some more whiskers in the future. Once we get some of the additive layers on, you know, but got to start somewhere. So here we are. We're not using wire for whiskers when it's all said and done. I've got a, what you call it? Monofilament. Yeah, that's it. All right. Temporary whiskers are in place. There will be a few strands up above the eyes as well, but again, that'll go into some of the additive fur after the fact. And the whiskers won't be so in your face when they're not metal wire, you know? Recommended you for the raid. Hey, Stevie, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we started early today, and it's a holiday here in the U.S. So, like I said, it's a bit of an oddball. Normally Mondays I would stream 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. But again, being the holiday, I wanted to start a little bit early, and I knew it was going to be limited today anyways with what we had in store for the stream. So I figured let's go ahead and get that done and get the stream taken care of and get this guy thrown in the oven, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day hanging out with Minchie and enjoying the holiday, and then tomorrow we're going to do an extra long stream. Tuesdays would normally be 1 to 3, or no, I'm sorry, 11 to 3 Eastern time. And I may start 11, 12 and run till 5. As long as we got work to do and my back isn't screaming at me, we'll be streaming tomorrow. That's the plan. I kind of want to do a little bit of brushing around these whisker holes a little bit. All right, so I think just some general smoothing. We'll give them a once over, and then I think that's about it today, honestly. We did get the general form for the ears, and I was thinking about potentially getting those started today, but I want to get them baked. We'll drill the holes in, and that way I don't have to worry about scratching anything with the framework. Where's my... And we're going to do some cleanup around the head here. Again, this all gets covered up, but I don't want like a bunch of bumps, you know, so... Before he goes in the oven, we need to give him a good once over with that. Hey, Ezra, welcome in, man. Benchi, can you do / shout out space at Ezra? That's how the Twitch baked in shout outs work. If you're at your desk. No, not the exclamation. It's a /. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Minchie. Yeah, guys, there's a link in the chat to Ezra Music, another streamer here. Does some music and some movie nights, and it's a general good time. Plus, he's just a general good guy. So if you're not following already, be sure to drop a follow, show some love. Lots of creatives in here today. I spy Feral Moon mug, slowly sneaks mug into pocket. Yeah, I have a hat too. And, well, you can't really see it, but on my tool spinner. You can't say I don't have brand cohesion here. I definitely have that. Maybe soon at some point I can look into getting those publicly available. Not at the moment, Stevie, but um I may. I just had those made up through one of those print on demand services. Appreciate just getting some coffee in me. About to spend some time setting up some new sounds for tonight. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Your collab stream, is that tonight? That's tonight, right? Or is that tomorrow? Am I getting confused? At 8 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And that'll be live, I'm assuming, on yours and Josh Uwu's channel. Like simulcast. Looking forward to seeing what you guys are doing. Oh, just on Josh's stream. Okay. Yeah, I'm already following his channel from one of Andy's raids, I believe. So good to go there. Probably be asleep, unfortunately. Yeah, it's probably, what is that? That's 1 a.m. for you? Doing some drawing, Rose? We'll be drawing today. I need to avoid my ear holes so I don't smooth those over. Unless I have a bad dream and can't go straight back to sleep. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I indulge in herbal remedies, I suppose. I have a hard time sleeping if not. Not sure what's going to get thrown at me, so I want to set up a more versatile palette than I usually use. Not a bad plan, especially with something like that. Like, yeah, you got somebody else involved and keep you on your toes, right? More of the Pokemon stained glass window drawing. Nice. Maybe one of these days I'll get to a point where working on multiple things is feasible for me, but with the way my focus works at this point, I'm like one project at a time, you know? I will say this is probably going to be one of my longest projects to date. I think we're already knocking on the door for that territory, so maybe still a little bit of ways behind the Jack Santa diorama. That took some time. But there was all those pieces involved, so Jerby, no worries, Ezra. Really quite impressive. Looks awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it, man. I'm pleasantly surprised, honestly. Like I said before, I was really nervous coming into this project. Excited, but nervous. Being that it's the first animal sculpt and first time using exclusively this clay, which I am happy to report I am getting used to. And this stuff definitely blends phenomenally compared to Sculpey. I would argue that it smooths much easier as well. It just, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot easier to work with once you get the hang of it. All right, we got drill marks, we got whiskers, the eyes and the lips have been refined. We extended the hair texture. We wrapped the tail with wire and started the formation of the base of the tail. That'll narrow down real quick actually. And we'll build this out with foil with a little tuft. These ears are not quite right. They need to be a little bit more skinny, but we'll get there. I think they're at least at a good starting point. They just look huge because of the excess wire. A half an inch of that is extra. So I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's kind of high. Yeah. I mean, obviously the shaping and stuff, but I think I got the measurements right for the ears. But yeah, that way tomorrow we can just drill in. I can put the wire in, you know what I mean? And we can start forming the outline to shape. And then we can add foil for a little underlayer mesh kind of support. And then start adding clay. And I think that's probably the way to go here. Yeah. And then we'll just match them and we'll be good. Let me fix this camera again. Back ads are a great excuse for bathroom breaks. Yeah. You know, your candle, what did you use as the base? Like underneath it, it was just an actual candle holder. Let me grab it. Yeah, it's an actual candle holder. And then I use epoxy. Where's it at? Quick hold epoxy. Well, contact adhesive, I guess. And put a dab of that underneath there, and he's good to go. Oh, as the base layer? So I had a core already made. It was like a shaft of Sculpey clay, basically, with foil in the middle, like rolled up foil. And I had already made that when I made the other candle. I think I split it in two. So, because my intention was to make another candle sooner than I did. And so I made an extra core. But yeah, that's all it was. I took a sheet of foil and, rolled it up into like a long oblong shape, I guess, and then covered it with Sculpey and formed that to like a little bit of a core and baked it. So that gave me like a solid core to work with. Now in the future, I will make those, if I do any more, I will make that core much smaller, because what I discovered, and we didn't do too bad with this guy, because I knew going into it. But with the first candle, what I did not think about is depth for inserting eyeballs. So when I made that candle, the first one, I had round spherical eyeballs, right? Well, then I went to put them on the candle, and I was like, oh, I can't embed these far enough because it's hitting the core underneath. So I actually had to cut the eyeballs in half. So I made it work, but now I know in the future, make that core smaller. That way it's not in the way for the mouth when I need to go in for the mouth of the eyeballs. Didn't know if you use like a kitchen roll, like a cardboard tube. That would work too, honestly. I would probably want to fill at least part of the inside of the tube just for some weight and stability. But yeah, I don't know about this. I'd have to check that with the tube. But I have a little foil puck that I put in the top when I bake. That's to size. That way it acts as a spacer. Because, with heat, cooling and heating, things expand and shrink. So I put a core in there to bake it. And even still, it kind of shrinks a little bit. And then I take a little handheld Dremel to the inside of it, shape it up. But yeah, that's all it is. If I were to like get to a point where I wanted to make those to sell, Stevie, one thing, okay, so here's the problem. You could use tea light candles, like actual candles, but like these are great. The problem is the charger's under here, and the charger that these lights come with is all one charger. It's a USB, and it's got like 6 cables off of it that all plug into these lights. So what I think I would do is get myself to the point where I'm doing my own LED wiring, and then just have them set up with the wiring inside the candle itself, and either have it so you just plug it in, or put like a AA battery pack in it. You know what I mean? I'd have to look into options, but I think that would be better if I ever work those into a sellable type thing. This year, I very much want to get myself a soldering gun. It's not like they're expensive, and start playing around with some LED incorporation in my sculpts. I think that would be cool. Been a long time since I soldered anything though. Like maybe a decade. It's been a long time. Long time. But yeah, that's on my list. Soldering gun, a heat gun, all the guns, a smoke gun. I want all of the guns. I guess that they're all some kind of gun in some shape or form. The smoke one's going to be the most expensive. Those things are like $100, but for the showcase videos, it'll be well worth it. Because right now I'm just using my vape, and I get pretty lightheaded doing that, you know? Trying to keep a steady fog rolling while I'm shooting. I'm like off camera, just like hitting my vape like crazy. Always brings me back to child labor. Yeah, I actually probably have the most experience soldering when I was a kid. Not child labor, it was willing, but you know, playing around in my grandfather's shop with his tools. See, he did some of this stuff too, but the difference is he was a woodworker. He would do a lot of wood carving. I've tried carving. It's all right. I don't get the same kind of satisfaction out of it. I'm a fan of the work. I'm just not a fan of doing it myself. I'd rather work with these kind of materials, you know? When I was a wee child of 7 or 8, my dad would bring his broken cables home from gigs and let me fix them. Yeah, I'm sure that was fun. I always enjoyed taking things apart, putting them back together. My poor Ghostbusters car when I was a kid, man. I don't know how many times I took that thing apart and put it back together again. Stealing my dad's screwdrivers and all right. I'm going to bring this back a little bit further just to be safe. In fact, a little bit of a bump there, so used to fix machinery with my dad. My dad drove a semi. He was always working on that. For a time, I worked for him doing service on some of his trucks, but yeah, capable, not a fan. Especially in the wintertime when the shop was all closed up to keep the heat in. Those diesel fumes killed me, man. Yeah, those diesel fuel fumes are no joke. There. That way we get it up over this little crest. And that way we've got plenty of room to work with when it comes to blending the layers that are going to start coming down the back, you know, which will start opposite. We'll actually start down here at the base of the tail and start placing those up here and then blend it into this. And then, like I said, we'll put some strips across to create the little tufts, blend it with the same texture pattern here. I don't like that little spot. Let's fix that. Yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we are ready to call it a day on this guy today. Get him in the oven. And then really get to it tomorrow. He's going to really start taking some shapes tomorrow, that's for sure. Get those ears going. We can start putting on the additive fur. Whether we get to that tomorrow or not, I don't know, but at least we can if we need to, right? Looking great. Thanks, Ezra. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm so happy with how this guy's turning out. I hope I don't ruin him when it comes time to paint. or, anytime in between. But, we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Anybody got any artwork to show off? I've got a few little announcements to make. Kind of talked about it earlier, but for anybody else coming in, we do have some more new emotes live, courtesy of Reptilisa. Our new alerts are live too. I don't know. Well, the raid alert is that's gonna be something new in the future, but everything else is a new alert. So the new alerts are live. You may have seen them with the follows, actually. Starting to sketch out Bulbasaur? Nice. But we've got our dancing emote, our animated waving emote, and our red moon emote. The red moon and the old static wave emote are now follower emotes. And then now that we've got the animated waving emote, that's for subscribers. And then the little dancing animated emote was a free one. Bulbasaur's a favorite of yours? I always like Bulbasaur. Charmander was, as far as OG Pokemon go, Charmander was a favorite. Let's see what's going on in the Discord. Any posts? Yeah, we'll check back in tomorrow and see how everybody's doing on their projects. But yeah, a little short 2.5 hour stream today. I mean, not terribly short, but short. We're just at a point where I need to bake this guy before we continue. So, you guys want to go say hello to someone else today? Go on a bit of a raid. And then I will get this guy in the oven. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow then for ears and some more fur. Let me see. Who's streaming real quick? Continue nagging the bale. Let's see. You guys want to watch some pottery? Ooh, he's working on something crazy cool today. What is going on here? Dan's making some. Well, that's crazy. Is he finishing up though? I'm afraid he might be finishing up. What else we got going on here? Advertisements. Some collages. What do you guys think? Let's go say hello to Dan real quick. Try to catch him. See what he's making there. That's pretty interesting. Sound like a plan? In the meantime, before we do that, let me throw some links at y'all. Real quick. Link in the chat to the main YouTube channel, Feral Moon Designs. That is where all of the showcase and projects go. Well, let's hop over here. Am I here? But yeah, that's where all the projects can be found. Showcase videos, all of that. The candle showcase video went live on Friday, so you can check that out now. Thank you, Badman. And a link to the chat, or in the chat, to the Discord server. That is the best place for all the latest updates on the stream, channel news, updates, what the projects we're going to be working on in the future, all that good stuff. And we're hanging out in there even when the stream's not live. You can showcase your artwork to everybody, and by all means do so. Love to see it. And then the self-promotion channel, of course, if you stream or if you do videos or anything, feel free to share those in there when you're going live, or if you have a new video up. We'd love to see what you're working on. But yeah, when you do join, just keep in mind, it is a manual role assignment that we have to do. And I see you, bad man. I got you set up as a Raven. You're good to go. Welcome in. So yeah, there's those. And let's get those raid calls out. Non-subs, get that copied. And subscribers, there's your raid call right there. Get those copied, ready to go. I'm going to get mine, if it'll let me. And then we'll hop over, give our thank yous, and go say hello to Throw Dan. Assuming he's not ending. Hopefully. You too, Fire Shadow. You too. Okay. We're going to set up the raid. And then I'll hop over and do the old thank yous. Okay. Hop over here. And a big thank you to all of you guys today. I know today's a bit of an oddball day. We started early. It's a holiday here in the US. You know, it's just kind of one of those oddball days. Plus, you know, we were limited on what we could do because we had to get this guy ready for the bake. But thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for keeping me company, chatting with me. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Artwork by Andy, thank you again for the raid and all the raiders that came along. Bad Man, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. Artwork by Andy, thank you for the follow. Bowie Hair, Jazzy Jaffa, thank you guys for the follows. The Amazing Blue Panda and Zablocker, thank you guys. Thank you all for following the channel. Thank you for the wonderful support. Lurkers, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys all the same. Lurkers are definitely appreciated. So. But thank you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I hope your week gets off to a great start. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We'll be back here tomorrow, probably about 11 a.m. to noon p.m. or noon p.m. Eastern time, that is. 11 to noon Eastern time, somewhere in that ballpark. We'll be getting started tomorrow. And we'll be working on ears. So guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you over at Throw Dan's channel. Get those raid calls ready. And I'll see you tomorrow. Later, guys.